song. I don't think anybody know this song unless I let it play. Right? Because it's a nice weekend, and it's not here in Trinidad and Tobago alone. It might be other parts of the world. Well, I have on the line somebody who will be enjoying the weekend with us. Mr. Butler, good afternoon.
Hi, how are you?
Well,
are you hearing me?
Loud and clear.
Fantastic.
And you sound
all the
like...
way from London.
London?
Yes.
Wait. The bridge falling down?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. London.
But after we finish Sunday, the bridge will fall down.
Oh my goodness. Well, boy.
Because we have permission to mash up the place.
What? Well, here now, Mr. Butler, I want to know what's happening on Sunday. Well, welcome to Trinidad and Tobago through WACK 90.1. Right?
Well, it's wonderful having us here on such short notice.
Yes.
As you know, it's World Steelpan Day. And on the 11th of August, the London High Commission of Trinidad and Tobago is going to have a program to celebrate that World Steelpan Day with a few steel bands.
Yeah.
Caribbean. Yeah, it will be Ebony Steel Band. Right? CSI, Caribbean Steel International. And it will also have Melodians. CSI, it's 2004. They have done a lot of charity work, a lot of community work in England. Ebony Steel Band, they have also done a lot of work. That would be the band that came out in 1969, I believe.
Okay.
And Augustus Pepe Francis, the president of the Band Association in England, he's intrinsic in that band. He was there in 1971, although it was created in 1969.
Yeah.
And Melodians would have been sometime in 1984, I believe, if I have the date correct. Yeah, I could be corrected on that.
All right.
And essentially what we're going to have is the three bands playing half an hour each. It's from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. in England. You know we are 5 hours ahead.
Right.
And there will be a rhythm section, and we have invited members of the diaspora who, by the time we opened it, it was sold out in 1 hour.
My goodness, wow.
And even the BBC has contacted us.
Yeah?
Now, you have to understand the history of this. This came all the way from Taspo. Remember, Taspo came up here in 1951.
Yeah.
Winston Spree Simon, Ellie Manette, the father of the modern-day tenor pan. Yeah?
Yeah.
And also, we have the last survivor. The last survivor is Sterling Betancourt, who was a part of Taspo, but he's the last one.
Oh, yeah.
So what we're seeing is a changing of the guard.
Okay.
This is the brainchild. This is the initiative of the High Commissioner, Mr. Vishnu Danpal, who's an Amuko Renegades man.
Okay.
And this is his passion. And as a High Commissioner, as a representative, his first initiative is for his culture. And I appreciate that a lot, because I have met persons through him. My father played in Crossfire. And I have met persons through him who would have played with my father. And his passion for pan and culture is what he sells most about, although he has many other duties up here. And I have to give him full kudos and whoever selected him.
Yeah.
And I hope that in future, when they are selecting ambassadors and consul generals and high commissioners, that they look for someone who's as patriotic as he is.
Yeah.
He's well supported by Miss Urvashi, Lady Urvashi Ramnarayan, who is acting in his capacity when he's not there. She is the Foreign Service Officer 5, and she is doing a magnificent job of organizing this on the 11th. And Mr. Lawson Lovell, he's the man behind everything in the High Commission.
Great.
So essentially, what we have here, we also have a couple speakers. One will be Augustus Pepe Francis, who has been the head of the Steelpan Association in England for the last 34 years. We have about 62 bands. And also we will be having a visually impaired Mr. Michael Chatu Tuse. So both of them would be speakers on that day. And what they will do is give us some briefing of their history.
That's not Michael. That's the guy who plays the pan, right? That's the guy who plays pan. Michael.
Yeah.
Right,
yes.
right.
And from my information, Billy Ocean is also a part of Ebony.
Right.
So, but Michael Chatu is one who is visually impaired.
Yeah.
And he would have been a part of creating those bands, giving the opportunity to persons who are disabled. Yeah, CSI, they also had their part to play in the community in Hammersmith and Fulham, where they created bands and they would have done community work. Yeah. So it's a lot that is happening. It is from Tasport to Trafalgar, although we are already in Belgrave Square. And what we are trying to do is keep the history alive. Because we would have gone from Ellie Manette and Spree Simon, we went into Clive Bradley and Ray Holman. We transitioned into Jit Samaru and Beverly. And then we had Amrit Samaru and now Devon Stewart. So we are seeing the generation. But what we have to look at is some of those generations are now coming to a close. And we have to make the best of them while they are here. Lotolo Masembo, Brother Resistance, what did he say? He said by steel band, no, by Kaiso, or stories are told, but I'll tell you this, by steel band or stories are heard.
Okay, right. Nice.
One note. We went from the Spider to the fourths and fifths. We have evolved.
You sound like you're a Panis boy.
Don't say it like it's an illness now.
yeah. So good. But once you start talking about the Spider, I know what's going on.
Yeah. My father was a pan player. My family played pan. I grew up in Belmont.
Yeah.
That's the epicenter of pan. Look at how many pan sites are around that area.
Yes. Wow. Great. So wow. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just wondering exactly where this commemoration will be taking place.
Well, it's right outside of the High Commission on Belgrave Square. Now, Belgrave Square is where all the embassies are in England, or most of them are, like Malaysia and Turkey and everybody. But what we're going to do is shut down Belgrave Square. The world is going to come to a halt for this event. Wow. And it's going to be right outside. We're going to block it off. And the 3 steel bands are going to come in and play, and the rhythm section are going to be there.
Oh. Is this the first time you all are putting on this event?
Well, last year they had one lone tenor man. But the High Commissioner, he made it his business to ensure that this time around, it isn't going to happen with one tenor man. We appreciate him, but this time around, he decided he'd go in and bring it for them.
Right.
And he's bringing it.
Good. So, Mr. Butler, tell me something. The steel pan.
Yeah.
How known it is out there in England? How popular it is?
Well, as I told you, it has 62 bands between England and Ireland.
60.
And we have 50 bands in Switzerland, but they are small, and about 10 in France. And additionally, it was a part of the school curriculum for approximately 30 schools, but cost is now beginning to bear on them in terms of being able to keep it alive. Because it's becoming expensive. Pan is a very expensive thing. You have to tune, you have to buy new pans. Pans are very expensive. So it has formed. You have to remember something about Trinidad and Tobago. What Jamaica now represents to the region in terms of athletics, we represent in terms of culture. When you think of the region, you think of pan as the instrument that represents the region. No matter which country in the Caribbean, they play a tenor pan, right? Additionally, mass, Trinidad-style mass, that has infected the entire world. The entire region is identified by that. Calypso. So we have shared that we are the cultural capital of the Caribbean. So with a diaspora as large as we are up here, and you having Notting Hill Carnival, which is a Trinidad-style carnival, we have panorama and things like that in it. So we effectively have made our mark.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. And you think that this day that the United Nations has recognized will put our national instrument fully on the global map?
Well, can I tell you something?
Tell me.
It's already on the global map.
Yeah?
It's already on the globe. If you have 62 bands in England, 50 in Switzerland, and 10 in France, I want to believe it is on the global map. And you have to understand why it is so.
Yeah.
If you have to play a piano, you have to play chords, a guitar chords, a clarinet chords, right? But when you have a steel band, somebody who has never played music in their life could walk into a steel band yard and leave playing a tune. That's how simple it is, and that's the allure of that instrument. The simplicity.
Yeah.
And that is why it has worked so well in the schools with school children. It did a great job up here in the schools keeping people out of trouble.
Oh, right.
And remember, the steel band is a type of community event. When you look at the Trinidad and Tobago and Despers, it's the community that follows the band.
Mm-hmm.
So up here it's no different.
Okay.
So we're already on the world scale.
Oh.
But we thank the UN all the same for the recognition it has given to us.
And we are on the world scale, but yet still, there were those who were trying to claim our national instrument. But now...
Let me tell you something. Appropriation is a natural activity of the human mind. When something is beautiful, when something is creative, many people try to steal it. But at the end of the day, I think we are well entrenched as having been the creators of pan. People could do what they want. It will always be Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
That cannot hide.
Good. So, Mr. Butler, what's your role?
Well, I would be the MC on the given day. So I would be the master of ceremonies for that 3 hours, making the introduction of the speakers and giving thanks and keeping the people alive. Nice. And that's my role on that day. And my role here now, as of course, it is to highlight it, it's to promote and to show the work of the High Commission. Because the High Commission is really, really putting itself out there to carry the culture. And that should be the role of any public office. If we are saying that we don't have a presence culturally, internationally, all our embassies, high commissions, and consulates, that is the job that we should be doing.
Yes.
Exactly what we are doing in London. We are sending out a challenge to all embassies, all consulates, to do what we are doing and sell the culture.
I can't remember if you mentioned it. How you all got the High Commission involved in this event on Sunday?
When you say how we got the High Commission involved?
How the High Commissioner came to be part of this event on Sunday?
No, well, he is the author, he is the initiator, he is the creator of it. This is his dream.
Yeah.
So he might be up here to do a lot of trade missions and things like that. But this is his personal passion, which is to sell the instrument. And remember, I tell you, he's an Amoko Renegades man.
Right.
So when he came, he always speaks about it. This is what he wanted to see. So that is how he got involved in it, because he's a pan lover. Inside, outside, that's all he speaks of. He has introduced me to Pepe Francis. All these guys I know through him.
Okay, right. Oh, so you want to make this an annual event?
Well, I can't say as yet, because these things cost money, and as you know, it's not always possible sometimes to do things the way we want to do it, sponsorship, different things like that, you know. Because remember, we are in a foreign country, and, you know, to get local sponsorship from Trinidad and Tobago or sponsorship from England is going to be tenuous. So we can't say as yet. If it could be, fine.
Right.
But, you know, if it can't, this is at least 11th.
Right.
We would make a statement.
Right. So we show about what's happening on Sunday. So remind the world of it again and where it's happening.
Belgrave Square, 42 Belgrave Square is going to shut down. Permission to mash up the place. 3 bands: Caribbean Steel International, Ebony, Melodians. Feature speakers: Augustus Pepe Francis, Michael Toussaint. And it will be from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. in England, which effectively we are 5 hours ahead of you.
Great.
So that will be pretty early in the morning for you. Just have to count 5 hours backwards from that.
What time just now? I lose the time. I lost track of the time. 5 hours difference. What time?
Yeah, it's a 5 hour difference between us and you all. So if you go 5 hours, like now, what is the time in Trinidad and Tobago?
A few minutes to 1.
Right. We are 1743 military time, which is 17 minutes before 6.
Oh yeah, you go. I forget. GMT, boy. All right. All right. 17 minutes before 6. All right. So Sunday is a big day, and we're gonna celebrate our national instrument. I'm happy to know that you people out there in London have recognized our national instrument, and you are doing your best to commemorate this day the 11th of August.
And let me tell you something. I was talking about all the generations, and I want to thank you all for the time that you have taken in this short notice to bring us on board to show what we are doing. I really want to thank you all, and that is how we will keep it alive.
Yes, appreciate that. Well, I want to wish you all the best, and I'm hoping that this journey has only just begun out there in London. It will be on next year, please God. All right?
With God's blessings.
Thank you very much, Mr. Butler. Raymond Butler.
Thanks again.
Sunday,
Raymond Butler, yes.
Sunday is your day. Our day. The national,
Our day.
Yeah, the national instrument of the world. Good.
Of the world, the last acoustic instrument that was invented since the 20th century.
Right. Good. Yeah, now.
Mm-hmm.
Ebony Steelpan play Yellow Bird. You know that song? You could sing it?
Yellow bird up high in banana tree. Yellow bird. What about Penny Lane? What about Penny Lane?
Penny Lane?
What about Penny Lane? We went from Penny Lane to Natasha.
Oh gosh, you see? Well, let me enjoy Yellow Bird. Alright? So all the best and enjoy your day on Sunday. Alright?
Thanks again, man. Thanks again for the support.
Nice.
Yeah.